All right, hopefully everybody enjoyed their lunch. The first case we're going to take up is going to be Ariana Fuentes. So Ms. Fuentes, if you can show your video for me, please. Ariana Fuentes, thank you. And if you could unmute.
Sorry, I was using the restroom. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, okay. All right, is there a prosecutor available? Hunter, Christian, Tom? Any one of you available? See, Brenda, this is what I mean about surprises. Anybody else? Could they deal with this surprise? No, because they're not used to surprises.
Judge, they all stepped out just a second ago. They'll be back shortly.
Okay, who's saying that? Jordan, are you able to stand in? My mom would be so happy to see you.
Yes, it's a plea.
Yes.
Sure, it's easy enough.
All right, thank you. And I'll walk you through what the agreement is. The court is calling 2020 CR 7593, State of Texas versus Ariana Fuentes. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Jordan Brown for the state.
For the defense?
Kevin Stryker for the defense, Your Honor.
All right. And are you Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
By video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No,
No,
objection
ma'am.
from the state.
Oh,
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Fuentes, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, Ms. Fuentes, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Hunter, I see you have substituted in for Jordan Brown.
Yes, Judge. Hunter Morris for the state.
All right, my mom is okay with you, Hunter, but she was happy to see Jordan on the screen. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. Ms. Fuentes, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I'm sorry, was Mr. Morris the prosecutor who handled this plea?
I filled out the paperwork, Judge.
All right, then state, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft of person.
Any
That's correct.
objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Fuentes, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the state is proceeding on the less included offense of theft of person. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call on the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, The court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Fuentes, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft from person. They're requesting a $1,500 fine. They recommend deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Excuse me.
I'm sorry. It's like staticky.
All right, that's because someone turned on their audio. All right. The paragraph entitled waiver of appeal, did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Jacqueline Juarez, Stephen Austin, and Sherrod Dixon, Sharrod. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of theft of a person, theft from a person. We're not stealing people today. So to the offense of theft from a person, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support her plea of no contest of the offense of theft from a person.
Yes, Judge. First, I would like to clarify. I also misspoke earlier and said theft of person, not to be confused with kidnapping. The plea is for a theft from person, state jail felony. State offers states one with attachments, which include attachments sent via email to counsel and the court.
All right,
No
any
objection.
objections? Ms. Fuentes, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we are, Judge. I was just going to present a couple things before.
Yes. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. As you can see from the reports, this basically involved my client being with some other individuals who were doing the other individuals my clients were with were having a transaction with the complainant witness of a fight eventually broke out, and a cell phone was taken from the complainant witness. That cell phone was recovered at the scene, so that there were no restitution, and the item was recovered. My client is taking responsibility. This case took almost 2 years, actually over 2 years, I believe, to be indicted. My client was 17 years old at the time. She's now 20 years old. So this case is almost 3 years old, and she has had no issues or problems since.
All right, Mr. Stryker, I think she wants to tell you that she's older than what you're saying, or either younger.
I'm 19 years old, by the way, about to be 20.
19, sorry, I apologize. 19, about to be 20 years old. Sorry.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Stryker, if anything, people always say never increase the age of anyone. So she just wanted to be clear, she's only 19.
Yes, Judge.
It's all downhill from here with the age thing.
She was 17 at the time, Judge. She's been on bond for over 2 years, and she has not had any problems with bond. She's shown up to every court setting. She's also had no violations. She's working. She's helping support the bills, and again, this is her only adult arrest, I believe, at all. So we'd ask that you follow the plea bargain recommendation. Of course, the court has the ability to go less than the 4 years deferred, and we would appreciate if the judge were to want to consider that, as well as I am court appointed judge, and so we were hoping that the court would be willing to probate some of the fine. She does have a job. She works at Wingstop, but she does pay bills and helps out with the rent, and so therefore she doesn't make a lot of money. And so we'd ask that you probate some or all of the fine in the case, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Fuentes, who is Stephen Austin?
That was like a person that I went to school with, but I no longer like talk to him or even like associate. I don't have him on social media or nothing. Like, I don't even know what he's doing with his life right now.
Okay, and who is Sherrod Dixon?
He was also somebody I went to school with, just a bad crowd, I guess. I removed myself from everybody. I just work and now just pay bills and stuff like that.
Who is Tali, Iztlaly Navarro?
She was also somebody I went to school with. We went to the same school, Holmes High School. All three of us went there. And that's how we knew each other. We were always hanging out.
So why you get involved in something stupid like this, where you probably could have been killed, somebody else could have been killed? This could have easily been an aggravated robbery or something else.
Yes, ma'am. Honestly, I was like just young and dumb, making poor choices and hanging with the wrong people. But now I'm not like, I'm no longer that person.
Let me explain to you about hanging around with the wrong people. If I were to have any of these people I just asked you about before me, you know what they would say? I was young and dumb and hanging around with the wrong people. And I would say, well, who are these wrong people? And you know what they would say? Well, Ariana Fuentes. They would list all these people and you would be in that group. So when people say they're hanging around with the wrong people, it's like you're part of the wrong people.
Yeah.
That's what other people would say.
Yeah, but like, I'm no longer like, it's been like 2.5 years. I haven't gotten into no type of trouble. The most I think I got was a speeding ticket, but I fixed it. There was nothing.
I'm assuming you were not raised in the 80s, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I was not.
So you're not a Valley girl, correct?
No, ma'am.
So I want you to work on making sentences without using the word like.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No, I just think you need to concentrate on that.
Yeah, I honestly need to stretch my vocabulary.
You know, and that is the good thing about Google. Do you know I receive an email every day and it gives me a new word for today? So every day is a new word. So you're younger than I am. Mr. Stryker thought you were older, but you're 19. So I'm sure you are aware of all the new apps or whatever they call now where you can get words of the day. So here's the $1 million question. And I'm asking you this question because I need to decide what conditions to give you so you can be successful. If I didn't think you could be successful, I wouldn't bother with conditions. I just send you out to the world, and I would say, when you come back here, we'll deal with your motion to revoke. But I want to avoid that. So if you're drug tested today, which you will be, what are the results going to be?
I would probably be like faint because
Wait. What did I say about the word like?
Oh, sorry. I'd probably be faint because I was back in like a couple weeks ago.
We're not
Sorry. I was back couple weeks ago smoking marijuana, but I haven't like touched it since then. So like I said, I will be faint.
You used like about 6 times. And I'm
I'm sorry.
And I'm not doing this to make you feel bad. I'm doing this because I want you to improve yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want you to work on speaking without using the word like. The way you said you've gotten rid of these people out of your life, like remove these people like out of your life the way you remove like out.
Okay.
You understand like what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, doesn't that sound a little weird?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, like it really like does sound weird.
Yeah.
So I want you to work on that, not using the word like.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how far did you go in school?
To junior year.
Do you have your GED? What are you planning on doing? Working at Wingstop? I mean, I know they have different flavors like lemon, like barbecue, like other things, but like, do you want to work at Wingstop like forever? Like there's nothing wrong with that, but is that something like you really like want to do?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to work at Wingstop for the rest of my life.
So what are your plans to improve your situation?
I'm going to do like I think it's like a diploma program. It's called Essay Leadership because you can get your diploma. It's not just GED. So I want to like look into that and start doing that. That can be like a goal.
Well, if we can stop using the word like, you will make that happen.
I'm so sorry. It's going to take time.
I know everyone who's on this screen.
I don't even realize it. I don't even realize that I'm saying it. I only noticed until you pointed out.
Everyone on this screen, myself included, as long as you're living, you're trying to improve yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me see.
Green.
This is what I'm. All right, could you make sure you're on mute, Mr. Garcia? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you to a $1,500 fine. That will be probated.
Thank you, Judge.
Rebecca, I want to see if she can get into that Turning Point program. So the Turning Point program, that is actually a program, if you're able to get into it, they will pay you for attending their program. Wow. And it's $15 an hour. So you want to get in that program because they will help you with whatever you intend to do with the rest of your life.
Yes.
I'm going to ask for 100 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived if she completes Turning Point. And just in case she doesn't get into Turning Point, because I think their spaces are filled up, it will also be waived if she obtains her GED or completes some form of higher education level or a trade school.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. 3 years deferred adjudication. No contact with the following people: Jacqueline Suarez, and I know I'm mispronouncing that. It's Juarez. Stephen Austin, Sherrod Dixon. Let me see. I think there was one more person. Is Tali Navarro. And Rebecca, that's IZTLALY, Navarro. Regular Zoom reporting. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or where you're supervising minors. That may change once she proves herself, Mr. Stryker, but for now, that's the
Yes,
court's
Judge.
orders. And Rebecca, if you can continue to test her, but test her for levels. And then once she's clean, random UAs. Ms. Fuentes, those levels for marijuana or whatever else you use, those need to go down. You understand?
I've only used marijuana. I don't, but yes, ma'am, I understand.
And we're going to do 2 times a month. Field visits, random.
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am, I think that covers it.
Ms. Fuentes, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Fuentes, from here on out, while you're on deferred in this case, every decision that you make, you need to ask yourself, is this a decision that could potentially result in me going to the state jail facility for 2 years? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and do you have any children?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Way
so
too
you still have some freedom.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you have children, they're great. Everybody love children, but once you have children, your children need to come first. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Mr. Stryker, you can go in the breakout room with her. Probation.
question.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
I have a question. How can we watch this live, like on YouTube?
Oh, it's, if you just go to Judge Stephanie Boyd, it's live.
Okay.
Google YouTube and then put in Judge Stephanie Boyd.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one. Don't disappoint me.
I won't. I promise.
All right, and don't use what word?
Like,
You just used it.
but you.
All right.
Okay. You got
I'm
me.
going to send you to breakout room number 2. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Mr. Stryker.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
as well.
Hunter.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. Let me just
Good to see you,
find
Brenda.
you so I can send you to the proper room.
I'm the dog. No, I'm
Two.
just playing.
Oh, I changed it. And Kevin, let me find you.
Judge, can you also put us out to a breakout room, please?
Who needs to go to a breakout room?
It's the courtroom and the phone.
Okay, I'll send you out of breakout room number 1.
You are muted.
Judge, are you ready for me to go to the breakout room or did you need me to stay?
Oh, no, you can go to the breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the phone is in breakout room number 1. Courtroom, I've sent you to 1.
There you go. Okay. Oh, that's where you go.
Judge, can I get your attention?
All right, just one moment, please. Brenda, Do you know, someone just delivered flowers?
Sweet. Those are nice.
Yeah, I'm like, yay, well, unexpected. All right, yes, Roland Garcia.
I agreed to come back at 2 o'clock. I didn't realize I had a 3 o'clock doctor's appointment.
Okay, that's okay. We're going to take you right now. Your client is not in the courtroom. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has there been a Lorenzo servant in the courtroom?
Could I possibly get in a breakout room with Jade West?
Just one moment. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has there been a Lorenzo servant in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
All right, is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 11670 and 2018 CR 11669, State of Texas versus Lorenzo Servan. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Christian Noon for the state.
for the defense?
Roland Garcia for Mr. Serene.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 2:27 p.m. The defendant has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, has Lorenzo Servan appeared in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. This morning and right before noontime, since that time, I've texted him and he hasn't responded.
All right, state.
State moves for forfeiture of the defendant's bond.
All right, that'll be granted, and I'll remand your client without bond if the court, or if you have any contact with your client and he presents himself, the court will reconsider. But for now, in each of the cases, the bond forfeiture will be granted and he'll be remanded without bond.
Okay, and Judge, on a non-docket matter or off-docket matter, I'm setting your court tomorrow and I have another scheduling conflict. And I'd like to reschedule that case set for tomorrow for Friday.
Okay, what's the cause number, please?
20CR0676 and 77.
2020 CR 7677.
20CR0676 and 77.
2076. Yes. All right, just one moment. I'm sure that will not be a problem.
Thank you, Your Honor. And also, okay, I'll take my motions to withdraw on Serene. I'll carry those over on to Friday in case he shows up in the next day or
All
something.
right, and you want this other case recalled for tomorrow or recalled for Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so it'll be, if it's going to be Friday, it's going to have to be Friday exactly at 9.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Fair enough.
Your excuse.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yes. Kimber Ward.
Yes, Judge. If I could just have 1 minute with my client, we should be ready to do the plea on Jade West in just a moment.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
And Judge, are those going to be dressed for trial, the ones that are coming back from Mr. Garcia?
No, let me just, I have to get the file first.
I think they are, Judge, because they were supposed to be called back.
All right, then can you let them know that he needs to be dressed for trial? Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Zero 7677. No, 2020. All right, are the parties ready on then when?
Yes. Yes, Judge.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this case?
David Martin.
All right, is there a prosecutor who's available to stand in for David Martin?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Hang on, the judges, hang on, the judges.
Yes, does somebody need something?
I'm sorry, Judge, were you looking for me?
Oh, no, we have another taxi driver moment. No, it was
Okay.
Christian Newman. That's okay.
Okay, I'll get out.
What?
Also, Judge, you also need the phone. She's the interpreter.
All right, I'm trying to find the phone number on, let me just see, just 1 second. Is the interpreter there?
She's on the phone. She's on Zoom.
All right, she's not answering.
Alice, your screen is muted.
What screen? We're on a phone.
Oh, there you are.
You need to unmute the one that says for the courtroom. Someone needs to mute in the
We're
courtroom.
good.
We're good.
Okay, I ain't touching.
All right, is the interpreter on the phone?
Are you there?
She hung up.
She hung up.
She hung up.
She should be on the call. Is she still on here? Let's see.
She's not on.
And then where's our translator? She left with the code account.
Oh, no, she's not there.
Oh no, 3351595.
You want to dial her up? And
He is calling.
No, I got this.
Oh, he's calling.
I can dial.
Right, when you guys have the interpreter on the line, let me know.
Yes, Judge.
I'm gonna try. Tell her I'm gonna try calling.
Don't they get like paid by the hour or something? Like, I think it's.
But Brennan, you know, everything works out for a reason, and it's always for the best, because then, you know, Rebecca can come back in. She's gonna need the translator.
Right? It's only a matter of time before you rise to internet fame.
Okay, looks like we're gonna be waiting for the interpreter. Bobby Gibbia, you're back?
Yeah, I'm here, Judge. You recalled me for 2 o'clock on Tory Ridgel. We need a trial date.
Yes.
We're ready.
All right, and on that one, that is a family violence case. David Martin is going to be here shortly. He had an appointment he had to make on another case, so he should be zooming in shortly.
I'll be here.
Thank you. and Melissa Christian.
Judge, Joe Ray Garcia is my prosecutor. He's on the way. He had an emergency this morning and he and
Yes.
I have discussed this case. Could I be placed in a breakout room with Mr. Ruano, please?
Yes, Mr. Ruano.
He's the one with the big orange shirt. There we go.
Yes. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3 to speak with your attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When is he going to be back? Do we have any idea?
He said if we can recall it tomorrow, but he also said if it's possible, we can call it next week would work better for him.
Adrian DeLeon.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your attorney is in another county. He's saying that he won't be able to be here. So this is being recalled for tomorrow. Norman, did he say he'll be able to be here tomorrow?
He said he might have another conflict tomorrow, that it would work best for him if we can get recalled for next week.
Yeah, I mean, this case has been going on for a long time. So Norma, tell him if his conflict is not a criminal case that's in district court, he needs to zoom in here. So Mr. DeLeon, we're going to see you tomorrow. Your attorney knows that he's going to have to zoom in here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, how are you gonna know whether we're supposed to be there or not? But the clients don't have to be there. What your understanding is,
All right, are we ready? Do we have an interpreter or no? All right, Kimber Ward. Oh, you're on
Yes,
mute.
Judge.
Yes.
You should have the paperwork. I know that I finished it and she said she just finished it. So she's ready to go.
Okay. I just received the paperwork. I'm going to sign it.
I'm here at your court, by the way. FYI. I don't know if that matters.
Oh,
This is your
thank
little
you.
room.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to send
I have
you to a breakout room with your
videos
client.
with-
And they will swear you in. No, leave those there.
No, Mr. Garcia's phone.
Okay. All right. Just
Another attorney was appointed. I'm gonna ask.
okay. Sure. Thank you. All right, Kimber. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4, and they'll swear your client in. And if the clerks could go to breakout room number 4, please. All right, Melissa Christian, we will get to you as soon as he zooms in.
And that's perfectly fine, Judge. And just to update the court, we thought this was going to be a contested MTR. And obviously I'm not going to let my witnesses go. And I don't think Mr. Garcia is either, but he and I have reached a deal that my client has approved. So I just wanted to tell the court that.
All right, well, if it's an agreement that's been approved, and if you could let one of the prosecutors here know what the agreement is, then we could probably go forward.
Okay, and so which prosecutor would you like me to chat with?
All right, is there anyone available? It's a family violence case. They have an agreement.
I can do it, Judge.
All right, Christian Newman.
Okay. Could I be put in a breakout room with Mr. Newman very briefly?
Yes. I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And Norma, I'm going to send you to number 1 too, so that you can get the paperwork ready on Mr. Ruano.
Yes, ma'am.
And Rebecca, we're waiting for the interpreter, but the case that we're going to go on is 2021 CR 2281. And from the plea paperwork, it appears that they are going on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation.
Okay.
All right, courtroom, are you guys ready? Here we are.
You can mute
Okay.
or unmute yourself.
We're ready?
Yes,
Okay, she should be on a number, Judge.
yes, she's on.
Interpreter, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but very noisy and far away.
But join the Zoom meeting. Put your,
No, she's on the Zoom meeting. She's joined. I've let her in the room.
how come we can't hear you?
Where is she?
Mute here.
It says unmute.
No, it's that one. It's on.
The host would like you to unmute your microphone. You can press *6 to unmute. You are unmuted.
Now, see if she's speaking. Are you there, interpreter?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Okay, fantastic.
I hear echo. I hear you. Double voice.
She needs to turn down her first line. We called her on the line, she's out on the other line.
Her line that we called her on, she needed to lower the volume on that.
Did you hear that, interpreter?
No. I cannot hear him sing speech on, but I
correct?
hear you very well.
Yeah, lower the volume on your first phone line.
All right, so here's the question. Everyone, quiet, please. Mr. Sharp, say something. Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right, interpreter, are you able to hear that?
No, I'm sorry. Can you
All
please
right.
repeat that?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right, is there a microphone in the courtroom? Is there a microphone in the courtroom?
It's there right here.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, she's speaking Vietnamese. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. She said, she affirmed in Vietnamese.
All right, so to the interpreter, could you please speak in English for a moment? Because I don't speak Vietnamese. I'm working on trying to include my language skills with different languages. So the question is, Are you able to hear me, first off?
Yes.
All right, now I'm going to have
I
the defense attorney say something, and I need to know if you can hear the defense attorney.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Okay, we're good to go. I need everyone to make sure they keep their voices up. Court is calling 2021 CR 2281, State of Texas versus Thing Nguyen. We have an interpreter on the line. Is there any objections from the state or the defense that the interpreter is calling from a landline and therefore her video is not shown? Any objections from the state?
None from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections from the defense.
To the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Vietnamese and from Vietnamese into English, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Nee Wood.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes, Judge.
all of the documents I will review with you are in English. Did your
Nguyen.
attorney explain those documents to you in Vietnamese?
Yes, ma'am. Can hear.
Okay, no, time out. Either we're speaking in Vietnamese or either we're speaking in English. So when I ask a question, Mr. Nguyen, the interpreter needs to respond.
Oh, I used a different interpreter earlier, Judge, to go over the plea paperwork with Mr. Gwen, not this lady.
But my question is for your client. And my question for your client is whether or not all of the paperwork was reviewed with him in Vietnamese.
Yes, ma'am.
No, stop the phone. Hold the phone. Here's the thing. Either he's using the interpreter or he's not. Either he's going to be speaking in Vietnamese or he's not. We're not doing this thing where it's half Vietnamese and half English. Unless I'm mistaken, is the word yes in Vietnamese pronounced yes? How do you say yes in Vietnamese? Anyone? The interpreter. How do you say yes in Vietnamese?
We can either vâng or có.
All right, so I didn't hear that word. I heard the English word yes.
You answer. I'm Vietnamese.
So I just speak Vietnamese on that.
Yes. All right, Judge. The client understands that he needs to only respond in Vietnamese and that the translator will do her job.
Okay. So to the translator, I'm going to speak
Yes,
slowly
Honor.
so that you can translate everything that I'm saying.
Yes, Honor.
Mr. Nguyen, all of the
Yes, sir.
documents I have are in English.
Ông Nguyễn, tất cả các tài liệu mà tôi có đều bằng tiếng Anh.
Did an interpreter review those documents with you in Vietnamese?
Và người thông dịch có kiểm tra những cái tài liệu với ông bằng tiếng Việt.
Có.
Yes.
The audio is open.
Yeah, stop bothering me.
Okay.
Okay, could people who are not a part of this hearing please be silent in the background because we're having problems with the interpreter? And when I say problems with the interpreter, I mean she needs to hear everything.
No, close it.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic.
Và chúng ta được thực hiện qua cuộc gọi điện tử vì lý do của bị đại dịch.
Any objections? What did you all change on your end? Okay, it was going fine before. Nobody touched anything else. Brenda.
I turned it off.
May I borrow some patience out of your pocket? Because now all of a sudden I'm getting all of this feedback. Somebody want to explain why I'm getting all this feedback? And I wasn't before.
How's that?
That is much better.
We had to turn your volume up a little bit, Judge, because we were having trouble hearing you, and that probably caused the echo.
All right, let's not touch anything else. If someone needs me to speak louder, I will speak louder. All right, any objections to us proceeding by video? State.
Hunter Morris, no, Judge.
Defense.
No objections from the defense.
Có bất kỳ lý do gì từ chối để chúng ta thực hiện cuộc ra tòa này qua cuộc gọi điện tử hay không? Không cho cả hai bên.
Không.
Mr. Nguyen.
No.
Do you have any objections with us proceeding by video?
Ông Nguyễn, ông có bất kỳ lý do gì từ chối cho cuộc ra tòa này được tiến hành qua cuộc gọi điện tử hay không?
Không.
No.
Mr. Nguyen, did you review a document in Vietnamese with your attorney and the interpreter entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision?
Ông Nguyễn, ông có kiểm tra toàn bộ các tài liệu về cộng đồng và các tài liệu về đơn của ông với luật sư của ông bằng tiếng Việt và có sự hiện diện của người thông dịch không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Ông có hiểu và ông ký không?
Có.
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, to both questions.
Ông bên bộ phận tư vấn, ông có kiểm tra tất cả các cái tài liệu và ông có tư vấn với đương đơn của ông hay không? Có.
Có.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery.
Và tòa án quyết định, tòa án đồng ý với quyết định về cuộc tiến hành hôm nay.
Có.
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Ông Nguyễn, ông có kiểm tra các cái tài liệu và đồng ý với những cái sự thật với luật sư của ông hay không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Ông có hiểu không?
Có.
Yes.
Defense, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we waive it.
Bên bộ phận bị hại, ông có muốn miễn cái phần đọc hay không? Vâng, thưa có.
Có.
Yes. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, I believe we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family household.
That is correct, and it's under count 2.
State would waive count 1, then, Judge.
Defense, do you have any objection to the waiver of count 1?
No, Judge.
Bên bộ phận đương đơn, ông có bất kỳ lý do gì từ chối cho phần count 1 hay không? Không.
Không.
No.
Mr. Nguyen, did you review a document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Ông Nguyễn, ông có kiểm tra tất cả các cái tài liệu về đương đơn bị hại hoặc là bên và các thông tin từ bên bộ phận thanh tra với luật sư của ông bằng tiếng Việt và có sự hiện diện của người thông dịch không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Ông có hiểu không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Ông có ký ở những cái phần đúng mà mình phải ký không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with assault, bodily injury, married, cohabitation?
Excuse me, Honor, can you please repeat after assault?
Yes. Did you understand the state is proceeding on the offense of assault, bodily injury, married, or cohabitation?
Ông có hiểu được rằng tiểu bang buộc tội về vấn đề tấn công, thương tích cá nhân, kết hôn hoặc là cố tình cố tình điều khiển ạ.
Có.
Yes.
The range of punishment for that offense is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Hình phạt của cái tội trạng này bao gồm tối đa là 1 năm tù ở nhà tù của quận và tiền phạt là có thể lên tới 4.000 đồng. Ông có hiểu được vấn đề này không?
Có.
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. Did you understand?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Can you please repeat that?
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. Did you understand?
Ông có hiểu được rằng nếu như ông bị buộc tội và ông phải trả giá cho ông phải trả giá về các hình phạt tội của mình với tiểu bang, điều đó không có nghĩa rằng tòa án sẽ phải chấp nhận với những cái điều kiện đó. Ông hiểu được vấn đề này đúng không?
Có.
Yes.
If the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement, you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Và nếu như tòa án không đồng tình và không tuân theo những cái điều kiện trả giá về tội trạng của ông thì ông có quyền được cho phép để xin miễn tội. Ông hiểu được vấn đề này đúng không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial?
Ông hiểu được rằng ông có quyền để được yêu cầu ra tòa án tối cao đúng không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to question any witnesses the state would call?
Ông hiểu được rằng ông có quyền đưa ra bất kỳ các câu hỏi nào cho người làm chứng mà liên bang mà tiểu bang đã tìm giúp ông.
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to remain silent?
Ông hiểu được rằng ông có quyền giữ im lặng.
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Và ông hiểu được rằng khi ông bắt đầu trả giá cho các tội trạng của mình thì ông đã hủy bỏ những cái quyền mà chúng tôi vừa mới đọc.
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand that if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if you were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Ông hiểu được rằng nếu như tòa án chấp nhận hồ sơ của ông và hình phạt của ông sẽ được tiến hành thì tội trạng cao nhất mà có thể ông gặp phải là có thể cao nhất là 1 năm tù trong nhà tù của quận kèm theo 4.000 đồng tiền phạt.
Có.
Yes.
Counsel, Mr. Sharp,
Yes,
has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He's been able to assist me in his defense, Judge.
Người tư vấn đương đơn của ông có hợp tác với ông và cung cấp các thông tin để biện hộ cho ông hay không? Vâng, thưa có.
Có.
Đương đơn. Vâng, thưa có, đương đơn của chúng tôi trợ giúp tôi về những lý do để bảo vệ cho ổng.
Có.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Nguyen, these are questions that I'm asking your attorney. So there's not a question that's before you yet. So
Ông Nguyễn, đây là những câu hỏi.
So the interpreter
tôi-
is just telling you everything that everyone is saying.
Ông Nguyễn, các câu hỏi này là chúng tôi hỏi cho luật sư của ông, chứ chúng tôi không hỏi cho ông. Việc người thông dịch đang làm là người thông dịch đang dịch ra từng câu của tất cả mọi người trong cuộc phòng họp hôm nay nói chuyện.
Mr. Sharp, do you believe your client has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thưa ông có hiểu là đương đơn của ông có thể hiểu một phần hoặc là không hiểu rõ về những cái tội trạng mà mình đang nói về hôm nay hay không? Vâng, thưa có, quan tòa.
Có.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ông có thấy được rằng người này có hay nói chuyện và có thể nói rõ về những gì cho hồ sơ hôm nay hay không? Vâng, thưa quan tòa.
Mr. Nguyen, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Ông Nguyễn, có ai đe dọa ông, đe dọa tới tính mạng của ông, hoặc là cảnh báo ông về vấn đề ra tòa hôm nay không?
Không.
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
Có ai có hứa hẹn gì với ông về những cái khả năng có thể xảy ra? Có ai có những cái hứa hẹn với ông gì hay không, ngoại trừ những cái khả năng có thể xảy ra cho cái hồ sơ của ông?
Không.
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Ông có hài lòng với cái cách mà ông đang được bảo vệ không?
Có.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Ông có quốc tịch Mỹ không?
Có.
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea bargain agreement, I'm sorry, interpreter, you can interpret that.
Theo như chúng tôi đã xác nhận rõ là các đương đơn từ chối được vụ hồ sơ này được ra hầu tòa tại tòa án tối cao.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is asking that you be granted deferred adjudication.
Và theo các thông tin trên hồ sơ, tiểu bang đã hoàn thành và đảm bảo.
There's an affirmative finding of family violence.
Và có chữ ký trên các hồ sơ.
Right. The B as in boy, I, P as in Paul course.
B bò y ngắn P.
No harmful or injurious contact with how, HOA, back, BACK, fun or fan, PHAN.
Không có liên lạc với cái nhà ở fan.
Không. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Ông hiểu được rằng khi ông có dính líu tới các tội liên quan tới bạo hành gia đình thì ông sẽ không có quyền được sở hữu hoặc là cầm trên tay hoặc là tiếp xúc với các vũ khí.
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand also you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Và ông hiểu được rằng ông không có quyền được tấn công hoặc ông không có quyền được tiếp xúc với những người đã được liệt kê, kể cả ba mẹ.
Có.
Yes.
Did you sign a paragraph entitled Waiver of Repeal?
Ông có ký vào một cái đoạn văn để nói từ chối quyền được khiếu nại không ạ?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court.
Bằng cách ký tên, ông hiểu được rằng ông từ bỏ cái quyền được yêu cầu khiếu nại và các thông tin này đã được viết ra và lưu lại trong hồ sơ của ông cho cuộc họp trước ngày ra tòa.
Có.
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr.
Tư vấn.
Sorry, go ahead.
Lúc nãy giờ có liên quan tới bất kỳ tình cảm gì hay không? Không, thưa quan tòa.
Mr. Nguyen, how do you plead to this offense?
Ông Nguyễn.
Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Ông Nguyễn, ông nhận tội như thế nào? Nhận tội hay là không nhận tội hay không có định kiến?
Nhận tội.
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea.
Offer states one.
Any objections?
No objections.
Có bất kỳ lý do gì từ chối hay không? Không từ chối.
Không.
No.
All right, Mr. Nguyen, did you review these documents with your attorney? And did you understand them?
Nguyễn, ông có coi những cái tài liệu này với luật sư của ông hay không và ông có hiểu hay không?
Có.
Yes.
Did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, and there will be no live testimony here today?
Và hôm nay chúng tôi sẽ thu nhập các bằng chứng và các bằng chứng của đương đơn là không được là dối trá.
Có.
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Tòa án sẽ chấp nhận các cái bằng chứng đã được cung cấp cho buổi ra tòa hôm nay được liệt kê trong mục 1 là các bằng chứng được nhắc đến.
All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt because you've applied for deferred adjudication.
Và dựa vào các thông tin mà chúng tôi đã liệt kê trong các và đã thấy được trong các chương mục và chúng tôi đang tìm hiểu các bằng chứng và các thông tin để thuyết phục cho vấn đề nhận tội của ông và vấn đề ông yêu cầu được miễn không cần phải được đưa ra tòa án liên bang.
All right, are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we'll waive PSI.
All
Chúng ta
right.
có bất kỳ ý kiến gì hay không? Vâng, chúng ta có thể miễn về vấn đề này.
Okay, from reading the report, I see that the complainant is not cooperative.
Và những người bị hại không có bất kỳ phàn nàn gì.
But then we have this defendant who's been assaulted.
Nhưng mà đương đơn lại tấn công.
Mr. Nguyen, what is your problem?
Ông Nguyễn, cái vấn đề của ông là gì ạ?
What I mean by that is, why are you assaulting your wife?
Cái ý của câu hỏi của tôi là lý do vì sao ông tấn công vợ ông?
Cái đó xảy ra là vợ chồng gây gổ rồi lúc đó bà xã thì đang nấu ăn ở nhà bếp có con dao rồi mình chỉ dọa chơi vậy thôi chứ không.
Because at that time we, husband and wife, arguing together, and my wife was cooking in the kitchen at the time. There was a knife there, so I was just using it to dare her for fun.
Wait, to dare her for, I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part, interpreter?
To threaten her for fun. Threaten. I'm not sure if the voice cut out. T-H
Mr.
R-E-A-T-E-N. Threaten for fun.
Mr. Nguyen, who threatened someone with a knife for fun?
Ai mà cầm cái dao đe dọa mà để chơi cho vui à?
Are you Chucky the doll? Who does that?
Chú đang chơi với một con thú bông hay sao? Ai thường làm như vậy à?
All right, well, let's do it this way. I'm reading this report. Your wife said you've been taking money out of the joint account.
Để tôi đọc như thế này. Vợ của ông nói trên bản tường thuật rằng ông rút tiền trong tài khoản chung của hai người ra.
Large amounts.
Với một số tiền lớn.
And that you've hit her in anger.
Ông đánh cổ khi giận dữ.
Put your hands on her throat.
Dùng tay siết cổ họng của cổ.
And according to you, threaten her with a knife for fun.
Và theo như lời ông nói là ông lấy cái dao để dọa cho vui.
So I'm back to my question of what is wrong with you.
Cho nên tôi quay ngược lại câu hỏi của tôi là ông có bị gì hay không?
Nói với bà cái đó là vợ chồng á làm ăn với nhau với là đang gây gổ thì vợ chồng đâm ra nhiều mâu thuẫn là cũng trong cái đó là trong cái lúc mà đang gây gổ thôi.
Husband and wife live together, so those are the time we just argue together.
Husband and wife may live together, but husband and wife are not allowed to beat up each other. So again, what is your problem?
Vợ chồng thì sống chung với nhau nhưng mà vợ chồng không có được quyền đánh nhau. Cho nên chúng tôi mới hỏi ông là vấn đề của ông là gì?
Đó là trong cái cơn nóng giận vậy thôi.
It was out of my anger.
What are you angry about?
Ông giận về cái gì?
Cái đó là vì vợ chồng gây gổ nhau cũng một vài tháng luôn rồi, cho nên hai vợ chồng gây gổ nhau nhiều thì mình chỉ hù dọa chơi vậy thôi chứ không có ý gì hết.
Because we have been arguing for a few months.
What are you arguing about?
And I just meant to threaten her for fun. There's no problem out of it.
What have you been arguing about?
Hai người gây gổ về vấn đề gì?
Thì có tìm làm ăn chung với là dựa con cái với là dựa cái COVID đó.
Because we have a business and we work together, and also about the children.
I'm sorry, about a what?
About the children, about the kids.
A gift?
The kids,
Oh, kids.
KIDS.
Okay. All right. Have they been with each other since this happened?
Well,
I'm
Judge,
sorry, can
Yes,
you repeat that?
I'll repeat it. Have they been living with each other since this incident?
Can I explain to us in English?
Hai người có sống chung với nhau kể từ khi chuyện này xảy ra không?
Có. Dịch lại dùm cho anh ơi.
Can you please repeat the question?
Have Mr. Nguyen and his wife been living together since this incident?
Hai người có sống chung với nhau kể từ khi chuyện này xảy ra không?
Có, hai vợ chồng về sống chung với nhau thì bà xã đang có bầu 5 tháng nữa rồi.
Yeah, we live together and my wife is 5 months pregnant again.
All right, does anyone have an issue with him living with her? My concerns are you have someone who says he's threatening someone with a knife for fun.
Mọi người có thấy cái chuyện này có gì không? Mọi người có đồng ý cho ông quay về sống với vợ của ông không? Và suy nghĩ gì về vấn đề một người cầm cái dao dọ để cho vui?
Không, vì hai vợ chồng có đi gặp counselor với là cũng có nói chuyện với là với ông cha trên nhà thờ đó.
We went to talk to counselors and we also went to talk to the parents at the church.
All right, state.
Judge, the negotiated plea was no harmful or injurious. It does sound like an alarming situation. I would leave it up to this court.
May I speak, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Like Mr. Gwynn was saying, he and his wife own a salon that's been struggling during the pandemic. We all have seen the rates of assaults, people who live together, work together, a lot of frustration, a lot of stuff beyond our control just makes us frustrated, restless, irritable, discontent. And I think that's what happened here. After his arrest, a CPS got involved and intervened and sent them to counseling and parenting classes. So they're working on their relationship. They want to stay together.
Tôi nghĩ cái trường hợp này là trường hợp đáng báo động. Chủ tọa cần phải suy nghĩ lại. Tôi có thể nói được không? Vâng, ông có thể nói. Giống như thưa quan tòa đã nghe là ông nói là hai vợ chồng ông là có một cái sở kinh doanh chung, có một cái tiệm salon. Thì khi mà đại dịch xảy ra thì trong cái mùa đại dịch là trong cái mùa mà tỷ lệ bạo hành, bạo lực xảy ra cao, thì khi những người sống chung với nhau và làm việc với nhau thì họ có những căng thẳng vì đại dịch xảy ra, cho nên những chuyện này mới xảy ra. Và kể từ khi ông bị bắt thì họ đã phải đi gặp những cái tư vấn và học những cái lớp dạy làm cha mẹ, và cũng có sự can thiệp của sự bảo vệ trẻ em. Và theo như cha thấy thì hai người rất muốn sống cùng nhau.
All right, and Mr. Barton is back. So, Mr. Martin, did you have a chance to speak with the complainant?
Ông Mark, ông đã có thời gian để nói chuyện với người gọi chưa ạ?
You're muted.
Yeah, our office has spoken with her. Like the court mentioned, she is uncooperative. She actually requested the charges be dismissed because her and the defendant do have children together and she needs his help.
Vâng, tôi có, và người này muốn bãi bỏ cái hồ sơ này, và họ giải thích là vì họ có con chung với nhau, thành ra là cô cần sự giúp đỡ của ông.
All right, and I'm aware, state that you can't proceed to trial without witnesses. And I'll note that in the police report, it states that the complainant was uncooperative and the complainant refused all assistance from the Central Crisis Response Team.
Tôi có thể ghi vô đây là người phàn nàn không muốn hợp tác và không muốn có mặt để làm người làm chứng và muốn bãi bỏ cho hồ sơ này.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, affirmative finding of family violence, the BIP course, no harmful or injurious contact with Ha Back Fun, random field visits 3 times per month, CPS compliance if applicable, proof of employment within 15 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, regular reporting, and random UAs.
Ông sẽ bị tù treo trong vòng 2 năm và phải thử nước tiểu ngẫu nhiên thường xuyên và phải tường thuật với sở cảnh sát, và đồng thời không có sự liên lạc với Hà Bexar hoặc là hạn chế liên lạc 1 tháng 3 lần. Bằng chứng công việc hiện tại phải nộp vô trong vòng 15 ngày. Cấm không được làm các công việc chăm sóc trẻ nhỏ hoặc là chăm sóc người lớn tuổi.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
Vì lý do ông đã bãi bỏ quyền khiếu nại của mình, thành ra ông không có quyền khiếu nại cho quyết định này.
And because there is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition.
Và vì có liên quan tới vấn đề bạo hành, nên ông không được quyền sở hữu hoặc là hoặc mua bán bất kỳ các vũ khí nào.
Right. To the interpreter, I'm going to send you all to a breakout room. Probation is going to go over conditions with him in that room. And to the interpreter, if you will go to that room as well, please.
Okay.
She's in breakout room number 1, Rebecca. And to the courtroom, if you could go to 1, please. All right, who are the parties on Jade West?
Christian M for the state.
Kimball Ward for the defendant, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2021 CR 0390, State of Texas versus Jade West. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Christian Newman on behalf of the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Kimball Ward for the defendant.
And are you Jade West?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
Ms. West, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. West, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we'd seek to proceed on the lesser included offense of Class A misdemeanor assault bodily injury.
Any objections?
No objection.
Ms. West, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment for that offense is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? The court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor, she has.
You believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Your Honor, I do believe that.
Ms. West, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault causing bodily injury, count 1 only, $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Taking consideration 650691. There's to be restitution, if any, to the complainants in count 1 and count 2. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Ms. West?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Okay, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 1 year. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 40 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of assault bodily injury, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offer states one, all attachments and evidence.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. West, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments are reviewed the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
You're muted, Kimball.
Yes, Your Honor, we waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, she made a mistake and she understands she made a mistake and she just wants to show the court that she can follow the rules and she won't make any more. She's very young. She doesn't have any criminal history.
All right, Ms. West, how old are you?
22.
All right, and who was this guy to you?
My boyfriend.
And how old is he?
20.
All right, how do you get mixed up with someone who has a parole violation?
I was going down the wrong path.
And what is he on parole for?
Aggravated robbery.
And what did your parents say about you and this guy?
They didn't say anything.
I mean, did they approve of him? Does your family approve of him?
Not so much anymore.
What possessed you to do this?
I'm not sure.
All right, because so much there is so much throughout this entire thing that could have ended up completely different. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you continuing, you're going to continue to be with this person? Ms. West?
Right now, I'm not.
So are you thinking about getting back? This is me being social worker, are you thinking about continuing a relationship with a guy who's on parole for aggravated robbery? The fact that he's on parole means that he didn't complete something successfully because he had a warrant. He put your life in danger because he's running from the police, handcuffed, and jumps in your car. And you're telling me that you don't know if you're going to continue a relationship with him or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you with that because I'm sure your family is probably telling you that this is not a relationship you should be in. So I'm going to help you with that for at least a year. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I nanny.
Who's letting you be a nanny?
A family that I babysit for.
Okay, well, we're going to make you get a different type of job, okay? Because unless you're planning on doing that for the rest of your life.
No, ma'am.
All right, and the fact that you're not making such good decisions right now, and because you're not making such good decisions right now, I don't think you should be influencing young children at this point in your life.
I'm really good with kids, Your Honor.
Yeah, but you're not making great decisions. I want you to step back for a minute. Pretend we're not talking about you. Pretend that this is someone, let's just call her Harriet. And let's pretend like Harriet is your very best friend. Harriet's doing great in school. Harriet's never been in trouble with the law. And Harriet comes to you and says, I'm dating this guy. And you say, that's great. And Harriet tells you, I think this guy loves me. I love him. You're like, that's great. And then she says, oh, by the way, he has an aggravated robbery. He didn't do well. He has a parole warrant or parole hold because he didn't do well for an aggravated robbery. And he almost got me killed because he ran from police in handcuffs and jumped into a vehicle. I was in it. The police showed up drawing their guns, but I love him. Do you think I should continue with this relationship? Jade, what's your advice to your best friend, Harriet?
I would tell her to leave him.
See, and that's the position you're in, but you're not seeing clearly. But I'm going to help you with that. All right. This is what we're going to do. How far did you go in school?
I made it to the 11th grade.
All right. And why didn't you graduate?
I kept switching schools from Laredo and back, and then it just got stressful. So I just ended up stopping. But I did call a program, and I am going back in August, and I start college at the beginning of September as well.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. I'm going to sentence you to 1 year deferred adjudication, $500 fine. That will be probated. Take in consideration 650691. Restitution, if any, to R. Gonzalez, no contact with Jordan Page, that's Paige, regular Zoom reporting or in person with probation, 40 hours of community service restitution. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I would fail.
What are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
And what else?
That's it.
All right, and that's another reason why you shouldn't be babysitting. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not good with kids right now. I'm going to do UA. She's going to be tested for levels. Those levels had better start going down. Then after, it will be random. I'm going to want field visits, random, 2 times per month. Employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or anything that requires you to babysit or supervise minors. And the 40 hours of community service restitution, that will be waived if you obtain your GED or some higher level of education or trade school. Is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
And I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you and we're off the record. Do you and this Jordan Page person have any children together?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's good. So it should be easy for you to move on from him. You are not to have any contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And that means no writing letters, no phone calls, no I love yous, no sending cards or letters through third persons. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're young, you're probably too early to be in a serious relationship. Look what happened to Romeo and Juliet. So we're going to stop that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So consider him as somebody you do not know. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation, did you get all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation. And today is the last day you will be babysitting because you are not a good babysitter. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're questioning whether you're a good babysitter or not. You're not a good babysitter. Do you understand why?
No.
All right, let me give you an example. Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes, I have one niece.
How old is she?
She's one.
All right. Do you care about her? Do you love her?
Yes.
Want to protect her? Want to make sure she's around great people?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's pretend that you need somebody to babysit your 1-year-old. And somebody says, hey, get Stephanie Boyd. She's known as the Black Mary Poppins. Everybody loves me. I sing a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. All the children love me. I come meet your 1-year-old niece. 1-year-old niece likes me. She can't stop hugging me and holding on to me. And you say, this is a great person. Stephanie Boyd, I'm going to hire you to babysit my niece. And I tell you, great. But let me just tell you a few things about me. If you drug test me today, I'm going to be positive for drugs. And by the way, I have this crazy boyfriend who has an aggravated robbery case that I am extremely in love with. So let me ask you this. Do you let Stephanie Boyd, the Black Mary Poppins that everybody loves, who's going to test positive for drugs, babysit your niece?
No, ma'am.
There you go. So you're telling me you're the Black Mary Poppins and you're high because you're going to test positive for marijuana and you're babysitting the child. So that's why you are not a good babysitter for children, because you've been making bad decisions, but I'm going to help you correct that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And from here on out, everything you do in your life, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could send me to the Bexar County Jail for 1 year? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will go over conditions with you. Don't disappoint me, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Rebecca, yes, Rebecca, you can go back to number 1.
Okay.
Anyone else ready?
Judge, I'm here. Robert Gebbia for Mr. Ridgel. He's in custody. We were
Yes.
recalled for 2 o'clock to get a trial date.
Thank you. And thank you for being so patient, Bobby.
Oh, no worries.
All right. David Martin. David Martin.
Yes.
Hi. So we need a trial date for Mr. Ridgel.
Okay.
And let me look at the dates, and hopefully you all can agree on one of these. Just give me
Just to
one.
remind you, Judge, he had a motion for speedy trial a few months back during the pandemic, which you granted, and you did inform Mr. Ridgel that you would put him to the top of the list as soon as you
Yes.
got yours.
Yes, I'm going to put him to the top of the list, but you all let me know if that date is okay. Just 1 second. Let me find it. Just 1 moment. Ah, here it is. All right, Mr. Ridgel, I'm going to need you to stay muted because we're getting a lot of feedback on your end. All right, it looks like the available date we have is July 22nd. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's a capital that's scheduled on that day. All right, the first available date we'll have is August 6th.
Ooh, that is so far out there.
I know, but we have I can set you on the day of the capital murder, but that capital murder is going first. I'll put you on the day of the capital murder. I'll put you down for July 22nd.
Yeah, just in case maybe something happens.
All right, David, are you okay with July 22nd?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Ridgel, we're going to have you down for jury trial on July 22nd. Norma, do you have that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ridgel, we'll see you back on July 22nd for a jury trial. And Mr. Gebbia, if you don't have anything else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
Oh, thank you. It's always great. All right, anyone else ready? Melissa Christian?
Judge, we should be ready. I did sign the paperwork for Norma. I don't know if she's gotten it back from the jail on the waiver.
Let me see if I have anything.
So this is Michael Ruano.
Let me see if I received anything. Okay, Mr. Ruano, did you receive paperwork and have you signed it?
No, ma'am.
All right, and so Melissa Christian, you said you've received it?
I received it, signed it, and finished it, so it should have gone.
It's in your box then, Mr. Ruano. Do you see anything in your box from the 187?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anyone who can check to see if it's in his?
It's in his box, Judge. I'll call someone.
All right, Mr. Ruano, do you see where it says email on your end?
I'll get someone over there.
It seems like somebody's coming right now.
I would like it noted for the record that I actually went and retrieved a pin.
Yes, and
Okay.
it is so beautiful. I love it.
Thank you very much.
You know, I received so many compliments, including from my mom on the pen that you and David got me. And I just love my peacock. My mom is the one who started me to wearing pins. So I have every different type of hummingbird on the planet.
Hey, say, Judge, do you want me to go to the breakout room to sign that paperwork?
No, he just needs to sign it. I believe his attorney's already spoken to him about it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kimber Ward, Caitlin Kimber Ward is still in breakout room number 1. But as soon as she comes out, I will send you there with her.
Okay, Judge, just to update you, I have personally hand-delivered this afternoon the disc that she is reviewing with her client right now. So I don't know if they need to hop into a breakout room or how that needs to be facilitated, but that is what I'm waiting on for her to finish with those.
Okay, just give me one moment. All right, to the clerks, you should have paperwork on Mr. Ruano. All right, who is the prosecutor who's going to be handling this case?
Mr. Newman's going to do it, I think.
That's correct.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8301, State of Texas versus Michael Eduardo Ruano. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Christian Newman on behalf of the state of Texas.
Melissa Christian on behalf of the defense.
And are you Mr. Ruano?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Mr. Ruano, did you sign a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Michael Eduardo Ruano who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 8301 for the offense of violation bond protective orders to priors on October 14, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the second alleged violation of condition number 1, on or about the 14th day of March 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Michael Eduardo Ruano, committed the offense of evading arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive and
Thank you.
abandon the remaining allegations, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruano, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is an agreed recommendation for the court. It would
And
be
what
as
is the
follows.
agreement?
It would be to deny the state's motion, extending the defendant for 2 years, and 60 days of GPS partial for work. We'll also be taking into consideration 2021 CR 4789 and rejecting grand jury 743063. The defendant has also agreed to plead to a JSAT on the misdemeanor evading that he just pled true to.
And I'm sorry, could you give me the cause number for the misdemeanor evading?
Yes, let me pull it up. It is cause number 657283.
All right, and has the state had a chance? I know that they were waived, but did the state have a chance to speak to the complainant in the allegation of a violation of bond or protective order?
We have, Your Honor. She is actually on the Zoom today. She was prepared to testify as part of the contested MTR. The agreement of the parties dispenses with the need for testimony. She's aware of the agreement and the recommendation we've made to the court today.
Okay. Defense, is that the agreement?
That is, Your Honor. And forgive me, Mr. Newman, did you also mention the 60-day GPS? I was writing and I may have missed it.
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Then what the court will do, the court will follow your agreement, deny the motion, extend his deferred adjudication for 2 years. There's to be 60 days on GPS. There'll be partial. He'll be allowed to work upon proof of employment. And as always, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or in any type of employment that involves supervision of children. Take in consideration 2021 CR 4789. The state will reject grand jury number 743063. Defendant is to enter a plea in the misdemeanor evading cause number 657283. And the disposition of that case once the defendant enters his plea will be a judgment satisfied. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
if you could briefly explain to Mr. Ruano how an invitation from the complainant is not a waiver of the law, because Mr. Ruano continues to be allegedly enticed into meeting up with the complainant, and then we find ourselves back in this situation. And I believe an admonishment from the court would be helpful.
All right. Mr. Ruano? Could you unmute yourself? If you were to violate this probation, how much time could you potentially be doing in prison?
A long time.
No, how much time?
10 years?
How old are you?
31.
So 10 years plus 31 is?
41, ma'am.
All right. So do you want to see your birthdays potentially being sent at the prison?
No, ma'am.
I don't believe, I could be wrong. I don't believe at the prison they'll provide you a birthday cake and put candles on it. And people will send you birthday cards. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to have any contact with the complainant. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your fault, her fault. You're not to be at her location. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
If
ma'am.
you are at her location, that means that you have violated the orders of this court, which means there's going to be a motion issued. You're going to be placed in custody. We will probably be hearing your case from the Bexar County Jail. You will probably be thinking, oh, this person called me over, so that's why I'm there. And so the judge will think, well, Surely the judge will not do anything because I was invited over. I am telling you, you are not to have contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have contact with her, there is going to be a motion to revoke file. A warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you will be at the Bexar County Jail to answer for those allegations. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And either those allegations will bear out to be true or not true. But if they bear out to be true and I find them to be true, you will be looking at doing 10 years in the Bexar County Jail. I'm sorry, in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So here's my question to you. Do you want to continue to have contact with the complainant?
No, ma'am.
What's going to happen if you have contact with the complainant?
I'll be sitting right here where I'm at right now, talking to you.
And potentially doing what else? Going to prison for 10 years. So your relationship with the complainant while you're on probation or supervision under this court is over.
Yes, ma'am.
Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the state.
No, Judge, may we be excused?
Yes, we'll go off the record for a moment though. Mr. Ruano, from here
Yes,
on
ma'am.
out, any decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this decision something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 10 years? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will go over conditions with you. Ms. Reyes, were you able to hear all of that?
I got, he pled true on the one, extend 2 years, 60-day partial GPS for work, TIC 21 CR 4789. Jury number, I couldn't catch that. I heard 743. Is that correct? And
yes, it's 063.
Okay. And no employment as home health care provider, supervision of minors?
Yes. And he's only allowed to work once he provides proof of employment and schedule.
Okay.
And he is not to have any contact with the complainant. If he does.
Have a name of the complainant?
Yes, just one moment.
Judge, it's Lamisha Gunnels. It's actually on the screen.
It's LAMEISHA space Gunnels GUNNELS. And could I see Miss Lamisha Gunnels, please? Could you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ruano, could I see your video?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ruano is not to have any contact with you. So this court has had violations of protective order against Mr. Ruano. So I don't know what happened on this day with this violation, but what I'm being told in a roundabout way is that he's being called to visit you. So I've told him his relationship with you is over. This relationship will not work out. It will not work out on my watch. So if you could do me a humongous favor and please not contact Mr. Ruano and invite him to your location, because that's not going to be allowed anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming, Ms. Gunnels.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to send you all to a breakout room number 2. And Mr. Ruano, if you could go to breakout room number 2. And Ms. Christian, you can go to breakout room number 2, or either you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm Linda Ruano. I'm Michael Ruano's mother.
Yes.
Do I need to stay or?
Oh, no, you can be excused.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And to Marina, I think Marina was here. Does anyone need to speak with Ms. Gunnels?
Judge, Joe Ray is going to call Ms. Gunnels after we wrap up for the day and answer any questions you might have about what transpired.
All right, Ms. Gunnels, you're excused. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes.
Just for about 2 minutes.
All right, Brenna, time us. All right, I'll see you in breakout room number 3.
And I'll be right back to you.
Thank you. Deputy Laura, could I see you in my office, please?
On my way.
Thank you. All right. Let me bring Kimber Ward out of this breakout room. Everyone, Mr. Jones, just give me a moment. All right, Mr. Jones. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Ms. Ward. She's in breakout room number 1. So I'm going to send you there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then, is there a reason Mr. Gonzalez is still here? Didn't we do his plea?
No, Judge, I think that was Bobby Givia's client. So I already called the jail. Let me call him again, that he's done for the day.
All right, thank you. And Ms. West is done. And Antonio Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for patiently being here.
Yes.
All right, I'm still trying to figure out your GPS situation.
Okay.
David Martin, are you there? Are you available by chance?
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room about that?
Yes.
Yeah, for what are we doing?
All right, David, let me see you in breakout room number 2. And Rebecca, if you could go back to 2, please. Is there anyone available from Criminal Trial Division to come into a breakout room?
I can, Judge. It's Hunter.
Right, can you come to breakout room number 2, please?
Yes, Judge.
Begin. Judge.
Who's the host? Well, I think he can go back in the breakout.
He should be in the same one we were just in. One? Whatever I'm in now. Yeah, but that one doesn't have a player. This one does. I know, but I'm gonna just hold my phone. Just, it doesn't need to share screen as long as he can see it, you know, and it should be good.
Miss Ward, Kimber Ward, somebody was looking for me?
I'm in the courtroom, Judge, and I think we figured it out. I just need Melvin to go back into this breakout room 1.
All right, so Mr. Jones, if you'll go back to breakout room number 1, please.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
No, it's because it has to be on this one, so she can go this one. Oh, I know what I'm sorry, Judge, we couldn't hear you, but it looks like he went, so we're good. Yeah, we're good. Thank you, Judge, sorry.
All right, you're welcome, no problem. And I'm gonna go back to my breakout room.
Yeah, me and him are in this breakout room, so. What room is that? 1. But you don't need to be in a room, just if you.
Elliot, I'm gonna move you to breakout room number 3 and I'll go to 3 with you.
Judge,
Yes?
Caitlin has to leave, Judge. She has childcare. She has to pick up her
No,
child.
Caitlin?
And I know Kim.
Yes, yes, Judge, I'm here,
Yes.
sorry.
Caitlin, you
Yes,
can,
ma'am.
you can go ahead and leave. It's going to take Kimber Ward a long time to go through everything. And once we find out what their decision is on an offer, we will get back in contact with you.
But she
The
doesn't
only
want to.
reason why that might not be a possibility is that those are our only copies of the discs. She doesn't have her copies. And so I brought down ours. And so I don't mean to be rude. I don't mind staying late. I just need to know how.
No. Just give us a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry, Judge.
Oh, no, it's not a problem. You know, everyone is very aware of everyone's schedule. So just give me a moment.
Okay.
Caitlin?
Sorry, Judge, I have so many screens. I need to have like a designated screen.
Are
Anyway.
you able to have the disc here tomorrow for her to view with Mr. Jones?
Absolutely. I will be here normal business hours tomorrow, no problem. So
All right.
As early as 8:30, I can have those discs in hand at the court, and then she can review them all day.
No, she said that she will be here at 9.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
I'll be here at 8:30. All right. So Norma, can you have Mr. Jones ordered for 9 tomorrow? You're muted, Norma. It's been a long day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Kimber Ward, if you need to come back to the courtroom at 9, you can come back to the courtroom at 9 and we'll have a place for you.
I think it would be easier if I just zoomed from the DA's offices. They still have those little booths. I could show him.
I think we do. Hold on one moment. Let me ask if we have the booths or that they have capability.
It would be easier than having to deal with the courtroom too.
Why don't we do this? Kimball, will you text me tomorrow when you get here, and I will ascertain by then whether or not the booths are where you need to zoom from or if it needs to be the courtroom.
The Dactyla room, even the Dactyla room on the 5th floor.
We can figure something out tomorrow, but like I will have the discs for you somewhere in this general vicinity.
You want me to bring them back to you on the 4th floor?
I'll come get them from you right now.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jones, we will see you tomorrow at 9 and you will get a chance to view all of the videos.
All righty, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You too. Bye, guys. And with that, we're going to stop live stream. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of